We just did a shoulder workout, and I say that lightly, bro, because the shoulder workout actually hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you, my shoulders is cooked. But we yapped. I mean, I should say I know you already, but they don't know you already. So where'd you go to school?
Where are you talking from? What age?
That's tough. College, at least.
College. So I went to NECO for 2 years.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you went to NECO for 2 years.
Yeah, I went to NECO for business. It was my only option, to be honest. Not because of my grades, it was just financial reasons. So I went to NECO for 2 years. I heard about the program to do mass transfer, saying that they give you a discount or something if you go to a state school. So then I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go to NECO. And I was just not gonna play basketball anymore. I said, fuck basketball.
So you played ball?
Yeah, I played ball before. I was like, fuck ball, just gonna get the education and finish. And then the coach convinced me to play for 2 years. Got me to stay in school, finished, graduated with my associate's degree in 2 years. And then I went to UMass Amherst.
Were you good at school?
I was always academically good. I wasn't smart, but I was good. I knew how to get the job done.
Yeah, you know how to get the job done. I wish.
You know?
I wish. All right, so you went, played ball for 2 years.
Yeah, I played ball there for 2 years. We did pretty good. I left UMass Amherst as a transfer, bro. And they stuck us in these transfer apartments. Bro, it was like being a UMass Amherst, but being a commuter. Because everybody that transferred in with you is also a transfer. So everybody trying to figure out this huge ass school.
I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah.
Transfer apartments?
They don't call it that, but
yeah.
that's where everybody goes. It's called Sylvan. If you ever go to UMass, the Sylvan area, it's like 3 big buildings, brick buildings, like 20-something floors each. They put all the transfer students in there. So I did that. I was there for 2 years, but my senior year was crazy, bro. My senior year was fucking insane. I remember, I got kicked out of school. I got kicked off of campus my senior year.
You kicked out of?
I couldn't be in the school anymore. Fucking, my roommate got himself into some trouble, and I prevented it from happening. They were trying to rob him.
Yeah.
But, long story short.
You were trying to rob your roommate?
Yeah, they were trying to rob my roommate. Long story short, I stopped it. Police got involved, and they said that I was a reckless endangerment for the school because I helped stop it. And I was like, how? I don't even know the dudes that did this, and my roommate these are his friends. They're all from Springfield. I don't even know nobody from Springfield.
Yeah, if anything, you was just a vigilante.
Yeah.
They were just out here trying to save the day.
They were beating them up and everything. They jumped them, everything, bro.
Yeah.
And they didn't get to rob them because I was there. And
Are you still cool with him?
Yeah, I'm still cool with him. So that was on Columbus Day, bro. I'll never forget. Columbus Day, it was 2017 going into 2018. That was my senior year, bro. I was 10 months away from graduating. And I got lucky. One of my roommates found out that I was commuting from Lawrence to UMass Amherst for 2 weeks. One of my old suite mates.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, bro, you could come stay with me. And bro, I slept on a twin bed on the floor in probably the coldest house. He could tell you, Tanner, my man Tanner, he could tell you one day, bro, that had to have been the fucking coldest house in America. I used to sleep, bro, no cap. I used to sleep with like 2 sweaters, a beanie, double sock, 2 blankets on a twin bed on the floor for my last 10 months at UMass. So I could just graduate and finish.
Jeez.
No cap.
So.
And I used to try to pay him rent because he let me stay there for free. They didn't charge me a penny, bro.
So wait, what did you go to school for, though?
I went to school for sports management. My idea was to work in the sports.
Okay, so that was your way of like combining the academic and the business approach, but also still
sports.
The love of sports. And so you played basketball, and then what else?
That was all.
That was all? In high school, football, nothing?
Basketball. I was just basketball.
Damn. So how was that? What was your, well, I already know what you did after college, which is pretty interesting, and I want to know how you even found that job. But
which one? The Pelicans?
Yeah.
Bro, so I heard of this website. I don't know if it still exists, but it's called Teamwork. Teamwork Online is where all the sports industries post they're job openings. So I applied. I applied to Denver. I applied to Miami. I applied to New Orleans. They were the only ones with positions open.
That's
Yo, bro,
nuts.
low key, I had all of them as an option. And
Damn.
the only difference was Denver at the time didn't have Nikola Jokic yet.
Yeah.
It was the year right before, right? And New Orleans was gonna allow me to work for both teams, for the Saints and the Pelicans. Miami, I had just spent the summer before that in Miami, working for a sports agent. So I was kind of over Miami, to be honest. It got old fast for me. I was already there for 3 months living there. I was like, damn, to do this again, like it's not even that litty no more,
Yeah.
you know? So I just weighed my odds and I was like, look, going to New Orleans sounds like the best option because I work for both teams. I get to learn 2 different atmospheres at the same time. And it's not cold.
Yeah.
And I don't like the snow. So it was pretty easy
Or
for me to pick.
sleeping on the floor in college.
Yeah, but I
You
was tired
done.
of cold. I was dumb. What? We got snow here. I was cold there. I was always been cold, bro. I was tired of the cold, so I was running away from it. That's why I went to Florida. That's why I went to New Orleans. And while I was there, bro, I was there the year that Anthony Davis didn't want to play anymore. So he was like, trade me to the Lakers. Bro, I remember that was the worst week in New Orleans sports history. That same week, Anthony Davis like, I don't want to play here no more. We had the NFC Championship versus the Rams. The biggest missed pass interference called in history was missed to go to the fucking Super Bowl, to go see the Patriots. If I told you that morning, look, I got goosebumps, bro. If I told you that morning, our GM came to the sales floor and he's like, look, guys, we're gonna win today. We have all your tickets bought to go to Atlanta. The planes are ready. We're going to the Super Bowl. Enjoy the game, basically. Bro, we're a minute 30 away. We're first and goal. I'm like, we're going to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, bro, to Atlanta, to play the fucking Patriots, which is my hometown team, my favorite football team. I was like, nah, it's lit. Year 1?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Who's gonna get that?
Yeah.
And bro, it was stolen right in front of me. Stolen, bro. Stolen right in front of me. They didn't make the call, bro. We blew it in overtime. Fucking Rams win. The rest is history. So that week, bro, was the most depressing week in New Orleans, bro. Because not only was it that, it was during Mardi Gras time.
Yeah.
And like you even felt it in Mardi Gras.
It was like, nah.
It was just
everyone,
sad.
yeah.
It was raining, bro. It was just sad. It was just sad.
In that moment, right, when things like that happen,
Mm-hmm.
does that cause a ripple effect for you to get your get back? Like, yo, I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl on my time. Next time I do this, it's gonna be
I don't
a
rely
lot.
on nobody for nothing now.
Yeah.
I gotta go get it myself.
In that moment, what did it teach you? When something got stolen away from you?
Bro, what it showed me was that never get too high when you're high, never get too low when you're low. I also lived in a state where I never visited. I didn't know anybody there, bro.
Yeah.
So I went there blind. I went there to learn. I went there to see if I were to come back home, if I could come back with some skills.
Yeah.
That'll make me smarter, better, or make me more money. But my plans was never to stay there. I knew I was always leaving. I mean, I sold tickets. Hear this out. Listen to how crazy this is. So when I was there, I used to sell tickets, right? But I also was plugged in with like the basketball operations. So I used to get to work out with like some of the coaches. Like I worked out with the GM, Del Demps. Like I worked out with their.
That's actually pretty cool.
With their now the GM, which is Brian Graham. My other boy, Brandon, also works for like head of basketball ops, and the manager of the basketball operations, we call them Big Shot. They're all still there, bro. And I had all those connections, bro. So I used to get in the gym all the time, bro. I done played with you watch football, the Saints?
Not too much.
All right, so Cam Jordan is like one of their best players on defense. I used to play with him, play with his wife. His wife used to be a G League player. She was nice, bro, and played in Europe. Nice. So it was cool. It was a cool, fame-ass job, bro. It was a cool, fame-ass job.
So
Bro, I was selling a team that the Saints are like the Patriots. They only have suites because the season tickets is a 10-year wait list. So for you to buy a suite, you need at least 10 bands. and for one night.
Dude,
You got me? So for the Saints, and I'm new to the area, who do I know is gonna spend $10,000 in one night?
10,000 on,
Starting.
yeah, sweet
But I'm gonna
seats.
tell you more, bro. Watch. So, and I also had the Pelicans, who had just had a great run, but they got rid of DeMarcus Cousins and Rajon Rondo. And 3 months into the season, Anthony Davis doesn't want to play anymore. Had the pass interference call in the Saints. Season's over.
Yeah.
Bro, it was the worst time to sell Pelicans and Saints. You want to make it worse? I leave. I come home to work in banking. I left for personal reasons. My parents were going through some financial stuff, and I
Was that
ended
a
up.
tough decision?
Dude, OD. I had the option to go work for the Clippers or the Rams.
Okay, I mean, one thing for sure is that it says a lot about you, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you had a career essentially that the possibilities were endless in the sense of how high you was
Yeah.
going to be able to go and to be able to come back home to essentially take care of your family, right?
Yeah.
That's tough.
If I tell you, Jens, bro, that when I got there, I was the worst salesman, but knew the most about basketball.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, 3 months in, I had zero sales. Zero, bro. The guy in front of me was up like 40,000. At that time, that number felt like a million,
Yeah.
because I couldn't even get one.
Yeah.
And by the time I decided to walk away, I was #1 in revenue. Remember how I told you that the suite tickets, the suites cost at least 10 bands one night? I was the first inside sales rep to ever sell a suite ticket for the playoffs. They paid $18,000 for one night, and for the NFC Championship, I got somebody to spend $30,000 for one fucking night, bro. When I seen that, I was like, nah, get out of here, bro.
How often do you think about those nights? Those days working over there?
In New Orleans, only when I pop on the TV and I see basketball, I'll be like, damn, that's fire.
Yeah.
But I try to visit. I still get the perks. I still have I have the benefits of what it was to used to work there,
Yeah.
without having to pay
Yeah, without.
the commitment.
So, most times when you step into an industry and you understand the industry, you look at the industry a little different, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of you engineer music, you start hearing music a little bit different. You do cinematography, you watch a movie and you're like, it's not just a scene with two people in a room, it's a static shot. You know, you start labeling things. Does that happen when you watch basketball?
1,000,000%.
That's nuts.
1,000,000%.
Because for me, it's just a game. For me, it's just a game,
You're a
and
fan.
maybe it's a parlay that I'm mad at. But for you, you're like, I know everything. There's details in.
There's things that you're watching that you wouldn't even pick up on that I would notice because you work there.
That's nuts.
And down to the players, you got me? You
That's
know
nuts.
what they ate, you know everything. So we used to share cafeteria over there with both teams. So you'll mess around and run into Anthony Davis, Julius Randle, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Mark Ingram. Like, those guys were regulars. I used to see them every day, bro. You got me?
Yeah.
Our team also was sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, so everybody had a Benz, bro. Like, our owner was driving a Maybach with a driver. You got me? Like, that was her regular. It's different type of money, bro. It's so much money that you don't know what to do with your money. And these players, bro, are our age. So they was touching bags, bro, our age.
So,
But what killed it, bro, you're saying that you see it different, was when you work in the industry, they take away the fandomship. So they don't want you to act like a fan. And what I mean is, when you see a player, they don't want you to go up to them. And
Yeah.
they say, don't bother them. But like, bro, we're being humans, bro.
yeah,
You know? Half the times they want to talk to us
yeah.
because they don't get to talk to regular
They
people.
kind of get the opposite feeling where they're too famous. They don't get to act.
They
like
don't
normal
talk to
people.
regular people. Everybody's just starstruck. Let's take a picture. Like, this guy doesn't even have a haircut, bro. He hasn't even ate breakfast. His breath stinks.
Yeah.
You know, he just wants to have a normal conversation without somebody wanting to take a picture. So they take that part away, and then you try to give like certain fan experiences for like your friends and families, and like they limit you.
Yeah.
Like, you could do way more, and they limit you. So I thought that was not cool. That's why I walked away from it. Once you took the fandomship, like, they kind of killed my fandomship for basketball. I didn't watch basketball anymore.
Yeah.
To be real with you. I'll go to the games once in a while, but that's probably the only games I watch all year until the playoffs.
Wow. So, you get back home and you're working in banking.
Yeah.
And how was that now, you starting off a career in sales and not being good at it, leaving at number one, having to come back home because of a family hardship, and now you're working in banking, I'm assuming it's sales. What does that look like?
Well, bro, so with banking and doing what I do, like mortgages, pre-approving people, helping them buy a home, it taught me that it is way easier to sell a need than a want. You get me? I don't have to convince you to buy a home.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Jens, you want to buy a home? You're gonna tell me yes. I go to anybody. Yeah. You want to buy a home? Yeah. How you gonna buy it? If you don't got cash, you need me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't have to sell you on the product. I just gotta sell you on a good payment. So I just have to make sure that I'm better than the next guy in his price. That's fine. I'll find it. That's what you're looking for? Let's go find it. I don't give a shit. I want you to have the best rate. I want it to go well for you. Wanna know why? If it goes well for you, you're gonna send me everybody else.
Yeah.
Your friends, your uncles. Let's work for me too, because you're gonna send me them when they're ready.
Yeah. So you essentially know if I do a good job, then there's no doubt in my mind.
If I do an amazing job, you can't do a good job, bro.
So
A good job is not good enough.
Yeah.
A good job is average. A good job means that you qualified for a loan and I closed it. When you go above and beyond, I want to make sure that you understood, because half the people that I service don't want to stop at just one crib. So I don't want to make it seem like that. And the investment in buying a home, bro, and I mean this, bro, is some of the people's biggest investment in their life. How many times did you invest $100,000s at once?
Not a lot.
Most
Not a
people, it
lot.
happens maybe one time.
Yeah.
You get me? So I want to treat it like it. It's something serious. It's something that you have to consider if it's comfortable for you and where you're at in life. But historically speaking, it says that if you held it for at least 5 years, you'll be on the plus side. You got me? You'll be
Yeah.
on the plus side. So if it tells you that, and you won't just be on the plus side by a little bit, you'll be on the plus side by a good margin if you buy in the right markets. So it's just easier, if you ask me. It's a way easier sell. Look at what we're doing now. I've gone through now the worst banking crisis in history. Rates went from, when I started, bro, rates were at 3%. You know where they've been at the last 2 years? 7, meaning less people buying, less money flowing, harder to get deals. But guess what? Someone always wants to buy a home.
Someone always is ready
For someone
to be
is the perfect time to buy right now.
Damn. So with that, right? And you just opened up your own, like what made you decide to open up your own, what is it called essentially? Like a
Yeah, so I
business?
partnered with a good friend of mine. It's called Freehold Mortgage, and we're a broker shop.
Yeah.
And essentially the idea with the broker shop is to have the best price, bro.
Yeah.
Is just have the best price. That way you can sell with confidence. You're not selling a need, you're selling a want. So when I go speak to my clients, I can be like, look, bro, this is the rate today. This is what I can get you. And I don't have to second guess myself. Like they could go look around and I know my price is good.
Yeah.
The only way somebody will be able to beat me is if they take a discount.
Yeah. If they lose on the back end. or
If they're losing money on the deal.
So how do you delegate, or how did you find out for sure this is the best price without selling myself for this business or taking a little bit off the top for myself? This is the best price. How do you figure that out?
Well, after a few years of being in the industry, right, you get all these estimates from clients looking at other banks, wanting to compare rates. So I have an idea where everybody else stands. Could that change tomorrow? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I know that compared to what I've saw to where I'm at, it's a huge margin. I gave it back to the client. I'm not even taking it. I'm not even taking it, bro. I'm giving it back to the client. Why? Because I don't need it.
Yeah.
I need the investment to go good. I'd rather you send me, again, your cousin, your sister, your uncle, than me make an extra $1,000. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather make 10 than 1.
Do you think that the industry that you're in, right, and your come up in all of this, this isn't just a career that anybody could undergo. I think there has to be some sort of hustler's mentality when it comes to it.
1,000%. I mean, you're wearing all the caps. You're fully self-employed. I wake up every morning, I'm unemployed, bro.
Yeah.
I don't have a job.
And
There's
they
check.
don't know that you also, I mean, social media influence is also something that our parents weren't privy to. And
Exactly.
you're like You're a man of many hats.
You gotta wear every hat, bro. I gotta be the CEO, the CFO, the marketer, the operations, the everything, bro. Every cap. I gotta hit everything because if I miss on one, I'm missing out on money. And guess
You
what?
can't have a bad day.
What do you call a bad day? I have a question for you. What do you call a bad day?
I don't have bad days either. It's tough. That's why I was like, I mean, a bad day is, I guess, you don't want to get out of bed. That's what I would say. A bad day for me is not doing a thing.
Now, what if that bad day requires you for your next day to do double? Because you need a rest.
That's true. See, okay, so my biggest thing about that, right, is that bad days aren't usually scheduled, you know? That's my thing. That's the fear, right? It's like you had one bad day on Monday, you could double on Tuesday or you could double in 5 weeks from now. So when you have, well, I'm assuming, these dry spells in your business, what does that look like and what does it mean to you? Because right now it seems like in the future, it's gonna come back into.
Because it does, bro. No lie. When it goes dry, that's when you go in your bag, bro.
Yeah.
You develop.
Hunger.
Your hunger. You think of different ways to get business. You become more intentional. After you go through a few of those turbulence moments where you go, like, bro, I've had months where I made no money.
Yeah.
Real shit. I've gone through the longest period I've ever had without making no money was 3 months. $0.
3 months, $0.
3 months, $0, bro.
That is a scary 3 months.
If I told you that every single time that happened, the following months, I made at least half of what somebody will make a year, or sometimes double of what they'll make in a year.
Yeah.
So I don't think about it. Those bad months add up. So when it's 3 months of bad months, I know I went so deep in my bag that it's gonna flip crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna flip insane, bro.
So from sports to banking to now homes, did you see yourself doing this? And what drove you to homes? Like what made you say, you know what,
That's a great question,
the
bro.
niche that I want to get into?
So when I went into banking, I was just a glorified teller, and I hated the fucking job, bro. I understood it because it was fucking easy, but I hated the job. I was like, I need to get into the other side. And there was a good friend of mine at the bank that also seen the same vision I seen. Because I worked in the bank, I was very nosy. I see people's deposits, and I seen these lending people with like 400K, $1 million, $2 million in their accounts.
Yeah.
Dropping off 20 bands a week, 30 bands a week. I'm like, what the fuck? What are they doing? This is legal?
It exists. This
It
money
exists?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I need to figure this shit out. So I asked the bank for an opportunity. And bro, that I was at, and they was just holding me back for 2 years. And I told them I was only giving them 2 years to get me into lending. They did that, I left. I took the test on my own, and I got my license like independently, so that I don't have to rely on a bank for me to do mortgages. Now I could just get sponsored by like broker shops and connect with the lenders myself and get you the rate that you deserve. You get me?
Yeah.
Based on your credit score, your application, and what you qualify for. So that was the turning point. I saw the money, bro. I saw the money. I've been around money my whole life. Like, I've been fortunate to see people make it around me and spend it. That I'm like, bro, that I'm addicted. Like, I wouldn't say addicted, but that's the lifestyle that I was happy at, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be way better if it was sponsored by me.
Yeah, because I mean, before we spoke about the idea of cost of living, and for you live, your health and wellness is expensive,
Bro,
in the way that you carry yourself and everything you do. How has things changed for you in terms of your health and wellness the more income that you made? You probably take the utmost care of yourself now.
it's crazy, bro. I actually eat like shit. I eat
Yeah.
out almost every day.
Yeah.
I eat out almost every day, bro. My girl tell you, anybody that knows me, bro, knows I eat out every fucking day, bro.
That's
almost every day.
But
But I don't eat breakfast.
yeah.
I never was a fan of breakfast. Everybody talks about eating eggs and stuff. Like, I can't eat that shit, bro. I don't know why. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
I drink probably like a gallon a day.
Hey, me too.
But when I say I eat out, I don't eat like shit. Like, I don't eat many sweets. I don't eat junk food. You'll never catch me eating chips and candy. It'll be rare, bro.
Yeah.
On a one-off. But I like warm cooked meals.
Yeah.
So like I'll go to Brothers and get pizza. I'll go get a pasta. I'll go, you get me? Like I'm getting real food.
Yeah.
You're not seeing me at McDonald's, at Wendy's, at Burger King. I'm not eating that shit.
Yeah, eating like mystery meat, great chicken nuggets and stuff.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I take care of myself in a sense, but it's because to me it tastes better.
Yeah.
And my body reacts better.
So, what does it? Actually, better question. How does it feel when you step into certain rooms that even you yourself is surprised that you're in?
Bro, that shit happened to me the other day.
What if you can talk about it?
Yeah,
what was
bro.
it, and how did it make you feel? I'm assuming you reflect.
Yeah, bro. So I got invited to this fundraising event. That's funny. If this makes it on the clip, I hope they hear it and see it because, yo, this is embarrassing. So they invited me to this Boys and Girls Club auction event, right? I've never been to an auction before. I have no idea what to expect. I only seen this shit in the movie.
Yeah.
$50, $50, you get me? So I'm expecting people to just be sitting at a bunch of tables and just showing up signs trying to bid on whatever is being auctioned, right?
Yeah.
Which is right. So bro, I show up in some black jeans. They're ripped jeans, but show no skin. I have some Balenciaga shoes, and I got like this great t-shirt that I got from like, I think it was like from Forever 21 or something. I don't even fucking know. Or Shein. So I have this shirt on. It doesn't look bad. I have my watch on. So I like, presently, I look fine. But when I get there, bro, tell me how everybody else was in a fucking suit.
Full suit.
Bro, suits, bro.
So it was like a
And
tie
I'm wearing
event.
jeans. So I was like, damn, this is like a movie scene, bro. This is like, the dude that had it, the right opportunity just showed up with the wrong dress. But I had a trench coat on.
Yeah.
But I had to take it off and coat check it. So you didn't really see it unless you saw me come in or leave with it.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm here, I'm sitting in the event, bro. I'm seeing everything happen. I'm seeing people donate hella bread, bro. Hella bread for the boys club. I'm there getting dumb hyped and I'm like, damn, bro. I came not prepared at all for this.
Yeah.
But this is like the opportunity I've been looking for because I've always wanted to sponsor a kid. I've always wanted to get back to Boys and Girls Club because I come from the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
And I know what it was like to be there. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh, nah, y'all gotta invite me next year. Next year, brother, I'm gonna go there fucking fly.
Yeah. You have to.
With my suit, they're gonna remember. But this year,
Yeah, they're like,
F.
you came here last year? You're like, no.
Oh, they know I came. They're gonna be like, oh, this is the childish kid that came here,
Yo.
unprepared.
So, in that moment, when you're in that room.
I didn't care though, bro, because I know what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I know I can sell mortgages, and I said hi to people. I talked to people. I went just fine.
Yeah.
Nothing really changed about what I was wearing, but sometimes we gotta be more socially acceptable, and I wasn't that night.
And in terms of like social acceptability, right? How do you determine whether or not it's the right time to dress or do something that
You gotta
is
read the
socially
crowd, bro. Where we going? Where we going? You know, I didn't know where we were going. I didn't ask the right questions, and that leads me to this. Like my tattoo, the reason I got it, bro, and it'll save you from everything, bro. You just gotta ask.
You explain it.
You just gotta ask, bro. I got this quote, a Bible verse, Matthew 7:7, and the phrase goes, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. So if you wanna know something, ask. Don't guess. Why are we gonna guess? Find the right person, ask them. If they tell you no, find the next right person and ask them. Somebody will eventually tell you. They all do. People love talking.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, you can talk about anything.
So would you say yourself, the more knowledge that you received, and also in reality, the more money you made, also brought in the idea and the realization that you should also ask more questions? Like the value of a question also opens doors for you as well.
It's everything I was taught. I was taught in New Orleans high-level scales. We're talking about NBA, NFL. We're talking about Harvard-level sales. I was taught. And then I met some guys when I first started in the mortgage industry that, dude, they were top in the mortgage industry, making $400,000, $500K, $1 million a year selling mortgages, like on the regular, bro. Like still doing it now.
Yeah.
So they gave me the sauce of what I needed to know. I implemented what I learned in sports and I combined it. And now we got this. We got the gym, we got mortgages, and we got real estate.
How has your 5-year plan changed the more successful you got year by year?
Oh, it's stupid right now, bro. And the next 5 is done.
Yeah.
It's game over.
Yeah. Did
I
you
never
know
look
that
back.
this was gonna happen 5 years prior?
Fuck no. Hell no, bro.
nuts.
5 years ago, I just started doing mortgages.
Yeah. And it was just
It was just a guess.
a long road.
It was. Remember how you told me earlier that you bought the camera?
Yeah.
So I had gotten a bonus from the bank for like 8 bands, and to start this career, they gave me a bonus for about like 15,000. I had 23,000. I told myself I got $23,000 right now. I am 23 years old. I'm gonna give this shot for 1 year, and if it hits, I'm gonna stay. I told my boss, I said, yo, bro, I wanna make like 80 grand this year. Mind you, I'm 100% commission. I gotta sell to be able to make the money.
Yeah.
He told me, man, like you're super ambitious, I love it, but 80 grand for your first year is a little bit of a stretch. Do 50. Bro, I ended with 85.
Yeah.
I ended with 85 my first year. And then the following year after that, crazy.
Yeah.
The following year after that, it actually flopped. It
Yeah.
flopped, bro. It hasn't been so great. It flopped. And then last year was fucking amazing. And this year's already, this year's already like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
All the work that you put in pays off.
Yeah.
That's why there's never a bad day, bro.
Do you ever have moments yourself where you are genuinely proud of yourself?
Now, you gotta celebrate your wins. Yeah, now.
And was that something that you yourself struggled with, like celebrating?
Let's stand up a little. Of course, bro, because to people it looks arrogant. Because you do something that you think is fire, people assume that's arrogance that you're spreading, and all you're trying to spread is love. It's like if I did it, you could do it too. We came from the same spot.
Yeah.
Literally. You probably have my phone number.
Yeah.
So like, I was never afraid to share what I do or how I do it. Whether you took the gems or not, it was completely up to them.
Yeah.
But I never want to say that I came up with any of this shit, because I didn't. It's just old heads giving me the answer.
Yeah. But no, bro, in reality, actually, I don't know if they know this, but All or Nothing came from a conversation you and I had probably a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I told you that.
Yeah?
Yeah. You and I started going to the gym. It just opened. And you and I were having an amazing conversation. And I was just asking you about your life and like your romantic life and social life and things that changed, because I haven't seen you in forever. And I'm like, yo, I was driving home and I'm like, yo, we were speaking about some really cool stuff.
Right.
I was like, yo, honestly, more people just like, you don't realize how many people drop real things during their workouts and they just kind of go home, get ready for their day. Like you said, you wake up at the crack of dawn because what?
My third shift workers, bro. I got people that work all types of hours that want to buy a home.
And
I told you,
here-
I don't sell
yeah.
people on buying a home. They want that.
Yeah. So at the crack of dawn,
Yeah.
you're here working and we're also having amazing conversations. So
Absolutely. It was a fucking great workout, my guy. My shoulders, I
shoulders.
still feel them.
episode 3.
I just hyped, bro. I'm hyped that they made this gym. This shit is fucking fire.
Yeah.
This gym has everything that a person wants to lift and brand new.
Yeah.
Bro, nobody got brand new equipment.
Nobody
Brand
got
new
brand new
equipment.
equipment.
But Jens,
Yeah.
like I told you earlier, I got this shit tatted for a reason, because I gotta ask.
Yeah.
If there's anyone that you know, I'm talking mother, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, friend, coworker, that wants to buy or refinance
Me.
a home, yourself included, have them give me a call. You know I'll take care of them. I got you,
Hey,
bro.
yo, thank you, bro. My shoulders are gonna hurt tomorrow. I may not like
Yeah.
you as much tomorrow, man, but we're gonna do
Just stretch them out, bro. Do
keep it
some water.
moving.